217 Recovery Podcast. Corey Winfield back from the Recovery Picnic, Riverwood Recovery Picnic here in St. Joe. I'm joining me, a couple awesome guests. We got Uriah over to my right.
Hello.
And we got the world's worst Frisbee player over to my left. What's your name?
Meghan.
Meghan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Did you know Meghan hit me in the head with a Frisbee earlier?
Yes, I almost was the shield that blocked that from happening.
Almost. But then you saw it was hitting me.
It wasn't the will.
You hit me right in the back of the head.
No, see, I'm very good. I'm very good at Frisbee. Richie was supposed to catch it. He's the worst Frisbee player ever because he missed his throw, or my throw.
Acceptance.
Not just accept. I also have understood that I cannot control other people's actions.
All right.
I'm not in control of others.
Forgiveness.
We don't have any resentments, right?
Not at all.
None at all.
I don't.
No,
I'm not
I
sure
don't
about.
either.
I don't, but I'm
Clearly,
not sure about Corey here.
Nope. Nothing a little ibuprofen can't take care of. But see, that's a slippery slope.
Got to be careful on that one.
You know what I'm saying?
It very well can be a slippery slope.
It can be.
Start with a piece of popcorn.
Got to learn to live through the pain.
So, Meghan, where are you from?
St. Joe area. I currently live just north of St. Joe. Grew up in New Buffalo. So, Barron County, really.
Isn't that south of St. Joe?
South County.
South County, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little south of St. Joe,
Some
but
new shit.
north of St. Joe. That's cool.
Yes. Previously south of St. Joe, currently north of St. Joe. I've lived everywhere in between.
So confused right now. Are you on? I think we're on the same page, Uriah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got 2 against 1.
Are you in like the government program, the witness protection program or something? You're trying to throw everybody off? You don't even look like a Meghan.
I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
Whatever, Ashley.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Uriah, I know the people you used to hang out with. It wouldn't surprise me.
There's no shame in my game.
There you go. I mean, you did what you did, but all right, Meghan, we're watching you.
Smart move.
Hit me in the head. I felt like you ever watch Private Parts from Howard Stern?
No.
Movie he made. Well, he like throws this Frisbee, it hits this dude right in the face. That's what I felt like, man. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, wait. Speaking of being hit in the face,
What?
the one time we were playing football, right to my glasses, gave me
Football.
black eye.
She
It's
didn't catch
bleeding
the
all over
ball.
the
It
place.
hit her in the face.
And you both were playing, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
You weren't just like sitting at a table trying to do a podcast and something hit you right in the face.
That's correct. Yes, she
Okay,
knew the
good.
ball was coming.
Oh, okay. Different story, but that's cool,
he
Meghan.
still aimed for my face.
Well, that's where you gotta. That's where he was throwing it. Maybe that's where the defender wasn't.
I just throw things. I don't aim.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Speaking of.
But no. So you're from around here then,
Yes, sir.
and what brings you to the recovery picnic today? Like, what do you want to talk about? How are you doing? First of all,
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
I'm doing great. So
you look wonderful,
Well, thank you.
full of life.
Thank you. No, so I'm not allowed to not come. To the recovery. No,
That's what he said.
did Uriah say the same thing?
Oh no, it was another joke.
All
All right, we're having fun, aren't we?
I'm on the same page.
Okay. Sorry, Meghan. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. You were coming.
Yeah, no, so
Let's take this serious.
about
Recovery is serious.
what 3 years ago,
What are you thinking
Linda from Riverwood. Mm-hmm. Linda was previously
Great.
from. Yes, she's great. So she was my recovery coach at the time, and she gave me the opportunity to get recovery coach training. And I had known that Uriah was interested in that, so the 2 of us took the recovery coach training together. And so Linda's like, "Well, we got to meet. Recovery coaches in the area got to meet." And so at first it was like the 3 of us, this other girl, kind of faded off, and then as more people got certified in the area, they grew and they grew and they grew. So then what? This is the 3rd one. So then
This is our third
annual recovery month picnic, and so it really Linda lit that fire, and Uriah and I have been a part of it from the beginning, and we're just every year it's growing and more people, more involvement, more fun, and that's why I say I'm not allowed to not be here.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's a
time.
part of me. I'm a part of it, and he's not allowed to not be here either.
Yeah, when I came and I saw him, I was like, all right, because I knew I was going to see familiar faces, and I had no idea I was going to see such great familiar faces. Everybody's smiling, but yeah, Ryan walks right up. He's like, and I'm like, what are you doing down here? And he's like, I helped put this together. I'm part of this. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
pretty
like,
cool.
wow, that's amazing. But yeah, and Uriah, how are you doing, man? I know life is good. Life is in recovery, and
I'm doing pretty well, man. I'm taking life as life comes, which is something I couldn't do, obviously, for my entire life until a few years ago. So I love it.
I'm going to ask both of you the same question, though. But what is the one thing that you think has kept you on this path moving forward?
So, man,
I mean, it can be
tricky.
multiple things. But
It's kind of two things. One thing is probably the number one thing is, like I said in that lead earlier today, the pain and the suffering. Not forgetting the pain and the suffering of my past is the number one motivator for me to continue to move forward in my recovery. The number two motivator is the fact that my life continues to get better. Like, I mean, seriously, today is better than yesterday. And it has been that way since, May 13th, 2015. I used to tell myself that back then daily because it's coming off dope. So it was like, today's better than yesterday. As I'd have that, the evil me back here in my brain going, a 20 can fix this. All you need's a dub, bro. And then I got to say, no, fuck that. Trick no good. Today's better than yesterday. Today's better than yesterday. So, definitely the fact that life just continues to get better, and it seems to never stop, and I'm loving that. So.
Isn't it crazy? Because you've experienced that. That's a fact. That has happened in your life. From 5 years ago, it has just grown. Everything's amazing. It's getting better. And we like to live in the moment. We like to live in the now. But can you even imagine in 5 years how much better? If it's already doubled in 5 years, can you imagine the next 5 years?
Right.
That's just going to be insane, bro. I mean,
I can't imagine it, but I do look forward to it.
I know we like to live in the moment, like I said, and don't like to get excited, but I mean, just keep living every day like it is and like you have been, and that's how it's going to turn out, and that's just amazing knowing that's going to happen. And Meghan, for you, like, what's the one thing that's really keeping you grounded and moving forward in recovery?
It is hard to just kind of, pick out one thing because there's so many components, to
Tell
recovery.
Me 8 things that keep you.
8 things?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like this guy. He gives
challenge.
me a challenge. Right. Yep. So, I'm gonna start off with like service work, so that I'm held accountable, so there's like a lot of stuff I'm involved in, like the recovery coach stuff. I'm on the steering committee for Twin Cities Alcoholics Anonymous in Stevensville, and I got harassed into that a year sober, and so I'm thinking I'm like 3 years into that, and sponsoring people, having a sponsor, and being available, things like this picnic today and all that, and so I'm being held accountable, I'm helping others, I'm having fun, and I'm staying connected to a recovery community, which it's just like, it's like going to meetings too. You go to a meeting and you get reminded of how painful it is, so I can't forget how painful it was, and then I also get to see these other people grow, and that's a reflection, because gratitude, remembering how I've grown and that each day is better, and life keeps getting better. So I don't know if I'm going to have like 8 specific. It all ties together though, really, if you look at it all, and like you look at, we do Uriah and I do a smart recovery meeting together too. So, it's just all those things. So gratitude, service work, being connected, going to meetings, sponsoring people, having a sponsor, working the steps. Smart recovery is cool because, like, when I first went in early in AA, I heard around the tables, you put down the drink and you're left with your thinking. This is a thinking disease too. Yep. Smart recovery is, cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's, science-based, and it's tackling my thinking. So I can add that on to when I'm getting out of a spiritual program with AA, and to kind of combat those thoughts and have those disputes in my head and, like, what's good for me. And smart recovery, the stuff I learned in the 12 steps, I can apply that today to, like, being a better person and working on myself every day. And faith is a huge thing, because that was something, I always believed in something bigger than myself, but I didn't understand what it meant to trust in something bigger than me, So having faith, those moments of, like, I got 3 words that helped me through a lot of things. So it's acceptance, accept it for what it is, faith that it's going to be okay, and then the patience to wait it out. And I think a lot of us get tripped out in that patience place, It's like, what? Still not happening?
Right.
Yeah.
I was getting that way a couple months ago with 217 recovery, where because we want it all, we want it now, and
Yeah.
I was into that mode. Like, man, I got to do it. I got to make this. We got to have 1 million listeners tomorrow. Like this is crazy. And then I don't know what changed. Maybe just longer term in sobriety. But then it hit me like, enjoy it, bro. Like you're only going to start this thing once. You're only going to be here once. Like enjoy the little things. And if it takes 6 months to get our 501c3 license, hey, then it takes 6 months, man.
Right.
That's cool. I'm going to keep doing my thing, and we're going to keep moving forward. It's going to happen when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And I was talking to Uriah earlier, and he was saying something that I had told a girl the other day, and she was having kind of a tough time in it. And I just told her, I said, hey, from my experience, when I help others, I help myself more than I even thought I could. And when you were saying that earlier, Uriah, like I was like, dude, I just said that the other day, and, I wasn't telling her, hey, go help other people. I was saying from my experience, because that's all I can do. Everybody's experience is different, but you said pretty much the same thing. You can say it again if you want.
Right. Yeah. All right, I will.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm not lying, man.
I think that when I do something for others without any kind of motive behind it, I'm just doing it out of the kindness of my heart, then I get repaid for that probably 100-fold. Where I'm not in control of anything there either. I just am doing something to help out another person, making them feel better or whatever, and then I'm walking away, and then somehow later on down the road, this repayment comes back to me. And it's pretty awesome. It's really kind of tricky, I guess, to explain, but living it, man, I wouldn't trade this for anything. There's no amount of dope on this planet that could make me trade what I'm doing today. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty awesome.
So we all agree that, yes, the helping others and the service work and stuff like that is very important. And I don't know. I look at it, and I was just talking to the guys about it in our last podcast, which got real political. Old Eddie, you know how Ed is. Just jumps in, starts talking about guns and mosquitoes and vape juice. I don't know. But he actually did not go into
a wall.
the
Did you talk about a wall?
No, but he kind of looked at me like he wanted to, and I was like, I gave him the whole cut to the throat. No, stop it there.
Where'd you get that Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it's Mountain Dew.
You know what's in Mountain Dew?
Probably.
You can read it to us.
Okay, Mountain Dew, carbonated water, high fructose, corn syrup.
I forgot what I was even talking about.
Concentrated orange juice. There's actually juice in here.
Gatorade.
Citric acid, natural flavor, sodium benzoate, caffeine, sodium citrate, etherobic acid, gum arabic, calcium, disodium EDTA, and yellow 5.
See?
There you
Now,
go.
if you just listened to the podcast today for the first time, you had no idea you were going to learn what was in Mountain Dew.
But I don't remember you reading off orange juice.
There's orange juice in there?
Concentrated orange juice.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm listening.
Crazy,
Skills.
right? Who knew?
Yeah. Ryan and I are going to recovery coach training in, I call it Houghton Lake, but I guess it's not. Houghton
Houghton.
Lake. How do you say it?
You say Houghton.
Houghton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say Gaylord?
Gaylord.
Just like that.
Gaylord?
Gaylord.
Okay. How? What are you? Why,
Are you even from Michigan, Corey?
I don't know.
You don't know how to say Houghton or Gaylord?
I say Gaylord. Well, we're not.
I
saying
do.
it right.
I gotta say this though. When I'm driving through to Mackinac, I'll get to Gaylord and I'll be like, "No, we're to Gaylord.
Thank you.
Where the Gaylords are."
Just having fun.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's no pun.
No,
it's just. It's.
But see, the
whatever.
word. I mean, this is something I'm having a hard time with up there because they call things different stuff, and they call it Gaylord. And I'm like, it's Gaylord.
There's different accents throughout. And Michigan's a big state, so
They
there's
tried to tell
accents
me it was
throughout
French or something, and I was like, Gaylord is not.
I wonder how. Maybe you
I
could
don't
tell
know.
us how the Yoopers say Gaylord.
He's been on the Gaylord bandwagon with me.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
All right.
Like just the word.
All right.
I like girls.
Hey.
What's up? But yeah, I totally forgot what I was going to say about that. We were talking about recovery stuff. That was fun.
We were, and
Yeah.
how helping others helps us. So that's
Yeah,
where we were left off.
It really does, though. Hopefully we can keep doing this, and I definitely want to be invited back next year.
Definitely, dude.
Like you guys.
We'll just open it right now. You're invited.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yes. We're gonna have
Are you kidding me?
don't get